Hey y'all, what's good? It's Jazzy. Let's talk. Hey. Anyways, y'all don't judge me. Y'all see the rolls. I gotta lose that. When I stand up, it be gone. We're gonna mind our business though. Okay, so right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about something that a lot of us struggle with. We all struggle with this, and it seems so taboo for us to talk about it, and people want to keep it on the hush about how they're feeling. So let's go ahead, let's just jump right into it. Let's go. Depression. Okay, so I'm gonna be real vulnerable with y'all right now. I don't really be vulnerable, but I fuck with y'all, so we gonna be vulnerable. All right, so let's do it. A little backstory of me and my depression and my situation of how I struggle with depression. I believe that my depression started when I came into foster care. I was separated from my mother and my sister. At the time, I was a child. So I didn't fully understand how to deal with my emotions. I didn't fully grasp the concept of therapy. I was in foster care, so they took me to therapy. They wanted me to talk about these issues and things, and I really didn't understand, at the time that, that would help me, I remember 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 years old, me dealing with these things, but really not knowing how to use my words to express myself. There was times that I would act out. I would cry. I would punch holes in the wall. Because I was longing for my family. I was longing for my mother. I was longing, to feel like I was a part of something. And I really want to think about that and say, I believe that's when my depression really took form. I just didn't know how to verbalize that. I didn't know how to put that in words. As I got older, I've been realizing, that I have been battling depression. When I was a teenager, I didn't see it so much as me battling depression. I saw it as, me growing up. I thought that my highs and my lows was just a part of me getting older. I was a teen mom. So I went through a lot. I will say that the depression that I felt at a younger age, it did stem from, things that I went through in my life. Me growing up in foster care, me being raped, my mom being on drugs, and being separated from my family. At a young age, I was very depressed, and I acted out. On that. I got into fights. I ran away from home several times. I didn't know how to really express what I was feeling, but I was depressed. I went through a lot as a child. I didn't really have a lot of people, even when I was younger and even now, they saw me as this strong person, so I didn't get the same nurturing that a lot of my peers got. I didn't get the same, hugs that a lot of my peers got that I truly needed. What child doesn't want to be hugged and loved on? Who doesn't want that? I didn't get that. So I acted out. I ran away. I fought. And looking back on all of those things, I can honestly say that I believe that I just really needed nurturing from a mother figure. I had a mother figure growing up, Miss Strickland, who was very active in my life, and I love her to death. But I can say there was some nurturing that I missed, which caused me to have these spiral of episodes that I had. That was a little bit while I was younger. That was my battle with depression as I grew up. As I stated, I was a teen mom. So I had my daughter at 17 years old. And at 17, I battled things. It was hard because I was still in foster care when I got pregnant with my daughter. And me and my daughter's father's mom, we didn't see eye to eye. It was very negative. I was going through a lot. I couldn't keep food down. I couldn't eat. I was very sick. And then I also had this woman, this woman that was in my ear, telling me to kill my baby, that, I was trying to tap her son, just a lot. So even when I was pregnant, I was dealing with all of these emotions. I'm pregnant, I'm dealing with all of these emotions. I'm stressed out. I don't have parents to turn to. I don't have anywhere to turn. I was depressed. I got into 3 fights being pregnant. Yeah, I was going through a lot. So even in that stage of my development, I still didn't know how to express what I was going through. But that was just my way of coping. I was depressed. I remember sleeping. Of course, pregnant women sleep, but no, like I slept all the time. I really went through a hard season then. I was 17, having a baby, didn't have anywhere to turn. It did start to look up. His mom and me, we were able to get on a level playing field, and she was able to get me out of foster care, and I stayed with them. And even when I stayed with them, it was bad. I wasn't used to staying in somebody's house and listening to their rules and dealing with different things, because I was a foster child. I was used to coming and going as I want, running away if things didn't go my way. But I was a teen mom. I had a baby. So I was in high school. I had my daughter full time. Yes, I still took care of my daughter. She was with me. I was working. I worked after high school. I did everything that I needed to do to graduate, but I was still depressed. I was depressed and battling these things that I couldn't explain. I was battling things that I felt like I had nobody to talk to about. And it was really me battling being a mom. I didn't have a mom. So it was all new to me. Me battling being in somebody else's household. Everything was just really new to me, and I just really had to figure out it on my own. So I know that that's another stimulant that, in a way, where I had to deal with my depression on my own. Another major trigger for me dealing with my depression, my daughter was 5 years old and her father got killed. We lost her father, and it really shook my world up. I loved him. We weren't together when he passed away, but being a young mom, you separate yourself when you feel like your partner isn't mature enough to be in a situation. But I always felt like, he would come back around. So losing him, it kind of took something from me, because I'm like, I finally felt like, okay, me and this person, even though we weren't together at the time, we could be this family. We could get these things done. We could take care of our daughter. But that wasn't the issue. That wasn't the case. I'm sorry. That wasn't the case. I felt like I had time. I felt like I had time to give him time to get himself together. I felt like we would get it together over time. And when he was taken from us so abruptly out of nowhere, it really shook my world up. I began drinking very heavy. I began drinking so heavy. And it's like all my problems from my childhood started to come back. And now those was problems from my adulthood. And I couldn't deal with him passing away. And a lot of people don't know this, but I used to drink so bad. I used to drink. I used to drop my daughter off at her grandparents' house, and I would get drunk, and I would lay on my floor, on my couch, and I'd be there for days. I would just be there for days drunk. And I was battling those demons. I was really battling some things that I couldn't, again, verbalize. And I believe that I still didn't receive the nurturing from that grievance that I needed. I needed my mom there to comfort me and say, it's going to be okay. I believe that a lot of my depression stemmed from me really having to just battle these things on my own. Just go through these situations on my own. I believe that at times I really didn't know, if I wanted to make it to the next day. I would sit and get drunk to where I didn't care if I woke up from that. I was in a dark place. Just even thinking about it, I still have some of that, some of that grief on me, heavy. But that's another instance of me just battling depression so hard. And today, in my present state of depression that I went through, well, let's back up a little bit. this time last year, I graduated college. I got my associate's degree in psychology, because I always want to help people that, you know, went through the same thing that I went through. So I'm currently getting my degrees. But this time last year, I remember it was around November, December, and I was on my way to class. It was like my final class. I had testing, so I had to go. And I just really had been battling depression real hard. And I actually had a panic attack while I was driving. It's my first time having a panic attack, and I just was hyperventilating, and I just pulled over and I had to cry, and I just had to calm my breathing, and I just had to work through these things. A very traumatic time again for me, because still I feel like I didn't have anybody I could really, you know, run to and tell them like, hey, I'm really in a bad place, you know? I'm really mentally in a bad place. I can't do it, you know? And I smile while I'm thinking about these things, because I pulled myself out of situations by myself, and I did things by myself, and depression has really been one of these things for me that I've battled so much by myself. It was times that I didn't want to live, y'all. I'm just being real. This me being vulnerable. It was times that I'm like, yo, I don't want to do this no more. I can't. How? Why I gotta do this? You know, me being in that place where I had to go to school, but I had so much on my mind mentally, it fucks you up, you know? It really fucks you up to know that, you know what, you have to push forward even when your body is not allowing you to, your mind doesn't want you to. I look and I just smile because I'm so strong. I went to class and I passed my test so that I could graduate. I had just had a panic attack not 10 minutes before I walked through the door, where I was crying. I went to that class and I had tears rolling down my face, you know, and I took that test and I did it because at the end of the day, even though depression has been something that I've battled so much, I've been battling it alone. But I've had to pull myself through those dark times by myself. I've been through and I go through so much by myself. And depression is one of these things where it's like, I have to tell myself, yo, you've been through worse. You've been through worse. You grew up without your mom. You know, I have to talk to myself. Depression is one of those things where it feels like I'm drowning. I feel like I'm drowning. I feel like I can go out when I'm depressed and I see everybody around me and I can still dance and do my little jig or whatever, you know, two-step, pop locking. I can still be in that moment. Physically with these people, but mentally I'm somewhere else. Mentally I'm drowning. Mentally I don't see a way out. Mentally I wanna go off this bridge, because depression is one of those things where it's like, why am I living? Why? What's the purpose? I've been in situations where it's so hard. I've been in situations where I tried to reach out. Let me tell y'all one thing that I've realized in my life as a Black woman, as a woman of strength, as a woman of courage, as a woman of pride, as a woman of intelligence. When you are a woman who people look at as strong, when you reach out, the only thing you get is, it's going to be okay. You strong. You can get through this. That's what I've been told my whole life. And y'all know how that make me feel? It makes me feel good, but it also makes me feel like, damn, like, yes, I'm strong, but right now I'm weak and I need somebody to pull me up. Right now I'm so weak to the point where I need somebody to look at me and pull me up, to give me a hug and say, you know what, you can do it. I want to cry right now because y'all don't really understand. Like, it's hard when you telling somebody like, yo, I'm at my breaking point. And the only thing they say is, oh, you good, you strong, you can get through it. Sometimes it hurt. It fucking hurt being strong all the time. It's painful when you always gotta be strong. And I'm not saying that, you know, I want to be weak, because I'm not weak at all. But sometimes you want to hug and you want to be comforted and you want to, you know, you want somebody to hear you out. You know, it's it's traumatizing. It is. And I use that word a lot because anything that we face that really bothers us, it traumatizes us. It gets in our spirit. My friends, they very good friends, but honestly, y'all, when I'm going through my deep shit, I need a friend that could say, you know, girl, come over, I got you snacks, let's cry, let's talk about it. I need some friends that can touch my spirit. Yes, I'm strong. I'm so strong that I can talk myself through anything. I'm so strong that I can get through it. But what about these weak moments that I'm having? What about these times that I say, you know what, I want to take my life, I can't do it no more? Those times that I was drinking myself to death. Those times that I was throwing the bottles at my wall. The times that I had friends walk into my apartment to find me unconscious. What about those times? Depression is so real that you can have people that's so happy. You have people that's uplifting you that's dying inside. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. I'm one of those people. I've been so strong to where I feel like I'm drowning sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning. Sometimes I feel like damn, like, let me, you know, I'm constantly, it's like a battle. It's a battle when you strong, but then you depressed. It's like, damn, everything is weighing so heavy on my mind, and oh my God, I can't live. And then you like, oh, you so strong. You got these kids. You got to take care of them. You got to provide for them. It's like a battle, and we constantly clashing. We clashing. I'm speaking to everybody, woman, child, kid, no matter your situation. This message is for you. I gave y'all a backstory about me, but I'm speaking to y'all, and I'm speaking to y'all spirit right now. Get yourself around people who's gonna cry with you, because those tears gonna nourish your soul. Get yourself around people that's not gonna give you it's gonna be okay. Yes, it's gonna be okay. But you need to be around some people that's going to give you some love to make it through those moments. Because everybody's not as strong as me. Everybody can't make it through those moments by themselves. And to the people that look at other people that's strong, be somebody who them other people can lean on. We all are fighting a war with ourselves. We all are fighting eternal demons within ourselves. Depression is real. Stop thinking that your life is not worth anything. We gotta fight, yo. We gotta fight these demons. And we can't do it by ourselves. Everybody ain't as strong to do it by themselves. Sometimes, I'm gonna get some water, y'all. Hold on one second. Excuse me. I'm getting a little choked up. This message is for everybody. Don't feel like you have to be strong all the time. Don't feel like you can't be vulnerable and weak and you can't let your guard down. It's nothing wrong with being weak, long as you can pull yourself up out of it later. Take a moment. Take a day. It's been times I had to take 2 and 3 days and just cry. It's been times I had to lay in my bed and sleep. You know why? Because if that's what I need to do to physically be able to get me together, mentally be able to pull myself together, I'm going to do that. My friend Portia, she laughed at me because she be like, girl, I know when you're going through it, because you either going to be at that casino taking your mind off things, or you going to be asleep. And see, I've been battling that addiction with the casino. So right now, my go-to is to sleep. I sleep it off, and I wake up the next day and I'm like, yo, let's get it. You know, we have to get to a point where we are uplifting ourselves, but we get in a community that's also uplifting us. Y'all, I've been here on this earth almost 30 years, and I've never felt like I had a community to really embrace me and uplift me. I'm really putting myself now back in a space to where I got people around me that can drag me up out of that ditch, that's going to be able to help me, that's going to be able to speak life over me. Get some people around you that's going to speak life over you. Get some people around you that, honey, get you some people around you that you can go to when you in a dark place. Because sometimes we can't do it by ourselves. Depression will eat you alive. It'll take over you to where everything is negative. Everything is I can't. Get you around some people that's going to speak life over you. And to the people that's listening, be the type of person that can speak life over somebody. I done had friends where we could sit and we could cry together. We could party together. But I like them friends to where we could talk. I'm one of those, let's talk. What's wrong? Because I don't want to be around nobody in this fake. I don't want to be around you and you fighting demons and those demons get on me. What's wrong with you? Let's deal with these situations. Let's break down these barriers. It's so much inside of us that we dealing with. Then we also have to deal with the outside world. And sometimes people looking at us and being like, oh, she got this. And she doing this. And she making these moves. I know people that's traveling and doing all type of stuff. But you know what happened? When they get in that hotel room, they crying because they alone. They crying because they fighting demons. They crying because they dealing with childhood trauma. They crying because of all the things that they got going on. Let's get to a point where depression might have been our battle, but we done beat that. We done beat that. What's up? Depression, I'm whooping your ass. What's up? Let's get to a point where nothing around us can get to us because we in a community of people that's fighting these warfares with us. I'm going to be that type of person. That's my goal for 2020. That's my goal for the rest of 2019. I'm going to try to be that person to break through to people and really deal with issues. And I'm also going to try to be vulnerable. I'm going to stop trying to do everything by myself. I'm going to build a community around me of people that can lift me up. People that can only not tell me it's going to be okay, but really speak to my spirit. Help me get my spirit together. This is a spiritual experience that we're having. Sometimes people can do things for you physically and they could take you to eat and make you feel better or buy you something nice, you know. But if you ain't feeding your spirit and you ain't really digging into the things that's really bothering you, what's the point? Y'all, I battle depression. I do. And I know that, you know, it can really eat you alive, especially not to have nobody go through it with you. We have to get to the point where we don't see people as strength and we don't look at them, the strong people, and overlook them. We have to start making sure that our sisters and our brothers okay. Yeah, because everybody can smile when they out. Nobody really want to, you know, be vulnerable when they out in public. Who want to walk around sad, right? Pick up that phone. See who house you need to stop over. See who really need to sit down and meditate with you. See who you can really, you know, feed your spirit with. We got to get to the point where we can really feed our spirit with each other. A whole bunch of people talking about how they so positive. I look at positivity as you helping the next person. When you can really speak life, let's start pulling ourselves up. And to the people that really ain't got nobody, let me tell you something. Your mind is so powerful. Anything you manifest in your mind becomes your reality. Let's manifest our happy place. Let's manifest the glorious things that we want in our life. Depression is not finna stop nothing. We finna fight it. If you gotta write me and send me your number, whatever, I'm here. We gonna fight this. I know it's hard always being strong. But you ain't the only one, and we got this. We got this. You too beautiful. You too beautiful. Why? We beautiful. Too beautiful. Let's fight depression. It's hard. It's hard, y'all. I know. It's hard. We got this. Every day. Let's do it. Y'all be blessed. I love y'all. Even when I feel like don't nobody love me, I love y'all. This world will let you think that don't nobody love you. I love y'all. It's okay to try to be positive and do the right thing. It's okay. But you got to be sure that you living in your truth. Live your truth. Talk to y'all later.